Hello, everybody. Jess Lohse with another weekly update with SBCA, Structural Building Components Association. Couple announcements. First one, Ali Saladin on our team. It's her work anniversary 3 years ago, and it was one of the first OQMs we actually had back after the pandemic in San Antonio. She got to meet everybody, but it was one of her first days with SBCA. So kind of remember that. She has come a long way, done a ton for SBCA since then. BCMC, OQMs were really, she's done a lot of great work, a lot of hard work goes into that. So thank you, Ali. Congratulations for 3 years. Appreciate everything you've done there. And then also another announcement, which this one's a sad one. Ashley Newis with our team, she's going to be leaving here in a couple of weeks at the end of the month. She's going to be moving on to she's going into business with her family. Her husband and I believe her father-in-law doing some roofing stuff, I believe, but she recently moved to Ohio. So we're going to be losing Ashley. So I'm kind of letting everybody know. So if you want to reach out and say good luck or touch base or just say hi one last time or bye, make sure that she stays in touch with you. I wanted to let everybody know. Sad to see her go. She's done a lot for BCMC and the exhibit sales, as well as the magazine and all the ad sales there and our marketing. So really appreciate what she has done. We're going to be losing her. Don't like that. But at the same time, kind of a pre-announcement that we will be opening up that position here in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned to that. I've had some people on our other positions say, oh, hey, I didn't know. I wish I would have known. So if you're watching this and, you're thinking about it, that one's going to be coming open. We're going to be very diligent about hiring it. It's going to be hard to replace Ashley. So with that, good luck to Ashley. Wish her well. We'll be doing the same here on SBCA staff. But yeah, that's just kind of business. People move on to bigger and better things. And I'm excited to see what happens with her. Beyond that, our European offsite tour registration, that is open. We talked about that last week and then also in industry news. So go ahead and look to our events page, SBCA Components/events, SBCAcomponents.com/events. You'll see a lot of things there. I think I counted almost 20. We've got a lot of chapter things going on. We've got some regular chapter meetings today. TMAT is meeting in Austin. And then also the Northeast chapter as well is meeting virtually. So last minute, get in on one of those things. I was supposed to be at TMAT. I apologize. I had some flight issues yesterday. Snow, both in Montana, but then Salt Lake got kind of hit with it pretty good. So was not able to do that. Hopefully I can remote into that. But beyond that, Colorado, our chapter meeting there tomorrow should be happening. And then also capital area next week. I know Molly's preparing a couple different presentations there. So if there is a chapter meeting that you'd like to get on the books in your area, feel free to reach out to our staff. We're doing a few different things to where we can try to make it educational with some materials that we have. But we also have some inactive chapter meetings scheduled or chapters that have not met for quite some time, years plus. And we figured, let's just see if there's anybody in those areas before, kind of through the policies that we have for SBCA that they go, beyond inactive and that we just, make them not around anymore. Wanted to see if there's anybody in those areas, and specifically Tennessee, which we had some people engaged at BCMC, hopeful to get them back together. Also Inland Empire, Eastern Washington, North Idaho, that area. That chapter I don't think has been active for a long time and may have been consumed into Northwest Truss Fabricators Association, but wanted to see if there was anybody locally there that had any more input there. Other ones, Indiana, Montana, South Florida, New York, Michigan, Kentucky. Again, we want to make sure that if there's anybody in those areas that would like to get together, have a chapter. It's the bar for what needs to go into it has been, dropped significantly with our SBCA staff and SBCA managed chapters. So think about that. We're just wanting people to get together, have that grassroots local engagement to promote components, to see what's going on and have some camaraderie with some others in your markets. But beyond that, all that's going to be at sbcacomponents.com/events. One other thing that I wanted to talk about briefly is the difference between truss technician and truss designer. Now, this comes up, somewhat often, and people operating the MyTech, Eagle, Alpine, Simpson software at the component manufacturer level typically are truss technicians. And those are the ones that are reading the plans, inputting it, whether it's in the layout software and then applying the loads in the truss design software. That is separate than what a traditional truss designer is. That is typically the person responsible for the truss design drawing, which is going to be the ceiling engineer. So most everybody in the industry will input it locally at their component manufacturer location, and then they'll send it to whoever's sealing the drawings, and that is actually the truss designer. Now, For us in the industry, that isn't that big of a deal. We're like, oh yeah, I'm a truss designer. I'm a truss designer. You're trying to impress somebody that's hopefully your future spouse. That's a truss designer. You know, that's what you're talking about. But that's not technically different from, say, a professional engineer or an engineer of records. When they hear designer, they think of the person that has the responsibility or that would be sealing those documents, whether it's plans like a building designer for, a commercial building or something like that, or the person that's putting the seal with the signature on it for the truss design drawing. That's a little bit different. So make sure that you're, properly communicating that to the appropriate people, because different perspectives will have different ideas. And, when you get different states boards of engineering involved, those sort of stuff, that can be an issue. So I've seen that a few times here. Just wanted to bring it up. Make sure that you're following kind of the teeth, letter of the law. And a great document to review is going to be TPI 1. This is the 2022 version. Just came out. A lot of people are still operating. Everybody's operating off the 2014. I suggest you get into Chapter 2, knowing about the design responsibilities, also some definitions in there, as well as Chapter 3, since you've got it open, looking at the QA, QC requirements there. That's always a big one as well. So that's kind of it for what I wanted to talk about. We're probably going to have more of those conversations about truss technician, truss designer, and some educational opportunities, as well as just some articles. But it's one of those that I wanted to touch on to kind of give that, precursor of what's coming and to raise the awareness, draw the conversation. If you have questions about that, make sure you get them answered. If it's reaching out to me, SBCA staff, others in your organization, or whomever, make sure that you know what's going on with that. And that way we can properly represent ourselves to the broader construction industry, because those things matter. It's a detail that does matter. Just like if you were to miss a detail on those plans, it's going to come back and bite you. This is one of those that has that potential too. So with that, I will tell you, peaks up, press on. Talk to you next week. I'm excited about it. We've got so much going on that I didn't even get to today, but it's a great time at SBCA, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Hopefully at one of those chapter events that we just talked about. All right, goodbye.